Simply put, Aretha Franklin was arguably the greatest woman singer of the modern music era. With a voice that moved easily between thunderous power and wondrous finesse, she was the woman behind so much iconic music and the clear role model for dozens of superstars who would try to follow in her shoes. In a diva-filled business, Aretha was the diva, and somehow that was a complete compliment. She was born in Memphis in 1942, the daughter of the famous pastor and civil rights activist C.L. Franklin. When Aretha was 2, the family left Memphis for New Bethel Baptist Church in Detroit, and a Motor City legend was ready to blossom. The pastor was a fiery and captivating voice at the pulpit, fitting that he had a young daughter with a singing voice to match. And despite the fact that she had a child when she was just 14 and then another at age 15, the record labels came calling. She's so associated with Detroit, many assume that Aretha Franklin was part of the Motown story. But Aretha never signed with Motown. In fact, she turned down Berry Gordy's fledgling label. Instead, she signed with Columbia Records, which wanted to push her toward a jazzy feel. But Atlantic Records saw a different path, wanting Aretha to put her gospel training to work and let it rip. And the result was electrifying. With producer Jerry Wexler pushing the buttons, Aretha suddenly owned the charts with songs like I Never Loved a Man, Chain of Fools, Natural Woman, and a remake of an Otis Redding song that became an American anthem. She was black, she was a woman, it was the late 60s, and she was demanding respect. When she was dubbed the Queen of Soul, no one argued. Many saw her as the embodiment of Black America. And as Detroit Mayor Jerry Cavanaugh declared Aretha Franklin Day in 1968, she shared the moment with Dr. Martin Luther King, just 2 months before his assassination. There would be lulls in her career, but by then the die was cast. She was an icon, and her comebacks were always stunners. From an appearance in the Blues Brothers movie, to her splash landing at Arista Records in Clive Davis with Who's Zoomin' Who, which had us all riding on a freeway of love. Along the way, there were several marriages, several children, and heartache, like the 1979 shooting of her father that left him in a coma. C.L. Franklin would die 5 years later.
He's the kind of guy that would say, hey baby, let's get away.
But through it all, Aretha remained music royalty. In 1987, Aretha became the first female artist ever inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And even with a secure seat so high in the American musical canon, she was capable of pulling off marvelous surprises. In 1998 at the Grammy Awards, illness forced the great tenor Luciano Pavarotti to cancel at the last minute. With about 30 minutes to prepare, Aretha stepped in and blew the doors down with Nessun Dorma, the song Pavarotti was supposed to sing.
He rushed to the stage after the performance, and that just did everything for me. I just was all but overwhelmed that he rushed to the stage in the way that he did. He threw his arms around me, and he's a wonderful man.
The United States honors Aretha Franklin for her lifetime of achievement and for helping to shape our nation's artistic and cultural heritage.
By 2005, she was so established as an American treasure that she tearfully accepted the Presidential Medal of Freedom from President Bush.
I am so pleased to introduce world-renowned musical artist, Aretha Franklin.
And in 2008, more than 40 years after her first trip up the charts, who else but Aretha Franklin to sing at the inauguration of America's first black president, setting a style standard for hats in the process. A lifelong obsession with cooking and food meant weight problems that were all too evident, and legal troubles for one of her sons made for uncomfortable trips to the headlines too. But appearance after appearance, song after song, year after year, there was never any doubt as to who wore the Queen's crown.
do.